Nebraska. Whew, the Cornhuskers. All right, let's get into it, man. Nebraska versus Oklahoma. Nebraska was 22-point underdogs on the road at Oklahoma this game. And let's just be honest, man. If you're Nebraska, this might not be what you want to hear, but you played damn good today. You really did. You played well. 22-point underdogs, and the spreads mean something. That is like what the money's pushing towards of what they think a team's going to win by or lose by, and you only lost by 7 compared to 22 points. It's not what you want to hear. You have a prideful history. You've always had a lot of tradition under you, and you're hearing this from a Michigan fan. I understand it fully. I know we had that little spew between us, 1997 champions, who wasn't, who was. It was us. But yeah, all in all, man, I feel like Nebraska really held their own today. You should be pretty proud if you're a Cornhuskers fan. I don't think you're going to be. I think you're going to be still upset that you lost the game. But I mean, you're going against the number 3 team in the nation. Oklahoma's got a great offense. I can tell you right now, Spencer Rattler is going to have much better days than what he had today. He does struggle every now and then taking care of the football, and he did take care of the football today. But most times, in terms of yardage, completions, balls downfield, stuff like that, Rattler's going to have a lot better days. I feel like your defense really held their own. I feel like Adrian Martinez really held his own today. Played pretty okay. Well enough to possibly win the game and definitely in position to help them win the game. But the running game and stopping the run for Oklahoma, that was the issues, among a couple other things. We'll get into it. Let's start right now. The 50-year anniversary of the game of the century in 1971. Number 1 team in the nation, Nebraska back then, coming in undefeated against the number 2 team in the nation, Oklahoma. Nebraska wins that game 35-31 after a touchdown run with 1 minute and 38 seconds left. And now we have this. Game's lost its luster over the years just a little bit, but it was still fun to see these two teams play again today. And it was exciting, and I enjoyed it. I really did. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I was a neutral viewer. I did pick Nebraska to cover in this game, but relatively neutral. I don't really go with that whole Big Ten Alliance stuff. Not really down for that, except every now and then. But for the most part, this game I just kind of wanted to watch and enjoy, and I did. It was back and forth, although Oklahoma held the lead the entire game. Nebraska, you never felt like they were out of this game at any point. They were always in this game, and credit goes to their defense. They fought and fought and fought and clawed and clawed and clawed and kept their team in this one. They needed a little bit of help by their offense, from their offense, and a little bit of help from their kicking game. That's something else we'll mention for sure. So let's talk about that Nebraska defense today. Spencer Rattler, he was 24 for 34 for 214 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. I'm going to tell you right now, as a Detroit Lions fan, if we end up being that number 1 pick in the draft and Rattler does go pro, and I have my choice between Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler, please, all day, every day, give me Spencer Rattler. I just think he has much more of a ceiling, much more of an upside. Sam Howell, same arm, same body tone, everything as Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford is very talented. He's going to crush it in Los Angeles. We've already seen what Matt Stafford does for the Detroit Lions, so we need to see what a different type of quarterback does for the Detroit Lions, if anything. I doubt anybody's ever going to be able to turn around Detroit. Actually, I wish last year would have been the year for us to be the number 1 pick in the draft should we get there. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. Spencer Rattler is a stud. He's the guy. He's a good quarterback. He can really sling it. He's confident, sometimes cocky. He's got a great arm, great accuracy, turns the ball over a little bit too much, but for the most part, he's a damn good quarterback, and Nebraska really did a good job of containing him today. Oklahoma rushing, though, that was the issue for Nebraska. 35 runs for the Sooners, 194 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. That's way too much. That's way too much. That's the first down every 2 carries. That's a lot. Eric Gray had 15 runs for 84 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. Kennedy Brooks, 14 runs, 75 yards, 5.4 yards per carry. Nebraska, you're in the Big Ten now. You're going to have to learn to stop the run. You got to get bigger, stronger. I love that, Michigan plays Nebraska this year, and I'm not going to make fun of Nebraska because for all I know, we could lose that game, but I see a very clear weakness out of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I can't remember the numbers against the Illinois Illini. I can't remember the numbers in that regard, how many yards you gave up on the ground. I feel like it was a decent amount, though. I'm not positive on that, so you guys can correct me in the comments below. I'm used to it. But, yeah, you're going to have to get stouter against the run because teams like Michigan, Wisconsin, all those kind of guys, Iowa, that's what we do well. We run the ball in the Big Ten, so you got to get tougher up front, okay? Stopping Spencer Rattler, that's great. That's excellent. That's really good. In fact, a lot of teams are not going to do that this year, but you're going to need to get more stout up front, or else you're going to have long days ahead of you for sure. Adrian Martinez today, a lot of people are always hard on him. He was definitely not the issue today. 19 for 25, 289 yards. He did have an interception, had a touchdown, but yardage was pretty good downfield for sure. Only 19 completions and 289. I should have wrote how many yards per completion that is, but that's a lot. That's a good bit. 289 yards is a lot off of 19 completions. So he did a good job, man, and he was pretty efficient with his passing, took what the defense gave him all throughout. Cool, calm, collected. I feel like he had a good game. Adrian Martinez was not the issue today. Again, you didn't stop the run, and now getting into it, you didn't run the ball at all. 38 runs for Nebraska, 95 yards, 1 touchdown, and that's just 2.5 yards per carry. So you take the 5.5 per carry for Oklahoma, a first down every 2 runs, versus the 2.5 yards per carry for Nebraska. That's a big, big deal and a huge difference maker in a game like this that was very low scoring, 23-16. That's one issue. We're going to get to the other 2. Penalties weren't the issue. You had 8 for 70. That's a good bit. That's a lot, but Oklahoma also had 7 for 70. So just 1 less penalty, same amount of yards. Those cancel each other out. It did feel like, however, and I think you Nebraska fans are going to agree with me here, some of y'all's were very much bonehead penalties, and they were bad timing penalties that really, really hurt you at really costly times, and really, really dumb penalties, whereas Oklahoma's, theirs were more your standard penalties at standard times. Nebraska's really hurt them, and they were silly ones. Some were silly ones. Let me know in the comments below. There was an offensive lineman particularly that had a couple that were really bad. He had a really bad day today. You never want to hear your name called out as an offensive lineman, and he did. So we went into the rushing game. Another big issue why Nebraska lost today. They went for it on 4th down 3 times. They were 1 for 3. Oklahoma did not go for it. So that's 2 possessions on downs. That's too many. That's too many, especially when you lost by 1 possession. 4th downs could not convert. I remember the conversion actually was the one where that guy was wide open, and he kind of caught it right here. It was like a tight end or a fullback. Caught it right here and kind of stumbled after he caught it. That was a good play call. And yeah, so you were 1 for 3 though. You turned the ball over twice on downs. That's a big issue. And the other big issue, so we've talked about yards per carry on your offensive side, yards per carry given up on your defensive side. Running game was a complete discrepancy, 5.5 to 2.5. You were 1 for 3 on 4th. They were 0 for 0. The other issue was Connor Colt missed 2 field goals today. Now, the 50-yarder, nobody's going to get onto him for that, except maybe he should make that. I mean, 50 is long, but it's not like crazy, crazy long. But the 35-yarder, that's a chip shot, man. And I think the score at that time was 7-3, so that would have made it 7-6 if I'm not mistaken. It was early in the game. 35-yarder. You got to hit that. You got to hit the 35-yarder, man. That's point-blank range. That's way too simple. So yeah, those 3 things, man. Honestly, let me know if you're a Nebraska fan. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know. Why do you feel like you lost? I feel like I went over 3 good things. You know, you ran the ball not so well. They ran the ball well. You missed field goals, and you missed 4th down opportunities. I feel like those are 3 pretty good reasons why you lost this game. If you look down the queue, time of possession was pretty even. Penalties, I said, were even. Yardage wasn't too far off total-wise or whatever. A lot of things were very even in this game. Nebraska really hung their own and stood in there. But those 3 things really stood out for me. So if you're a Cornhuskers fan, I know you're frustrated. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What do you think cost you the game today? Is there anything in addition to what I said? How much do you agree with me, disagree with me? I'd love to hear from you. And if you could, please do subscribe to the channel. This is the 2nd time I've covered Nebraska. I think I'll cover Nebraska a good bit. We still play them. You have a great fan base. So I look forward to seeing you guys. You guys gave me great views in the Nebraska-Illinois game. And that was the first game of the season. So I know everybody's pretty excited about football back then. But yeah, you gave me great views. Y'all are good people, man. I like Nebraska fans a lot. So look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. Sorry about the loss, Oklahoma. Great job today. I know Oklahoma fans are going to give me a hard time, say you didn't talk enough about what we did well. How much do you want me to talk about? You were favored by 22 and you won by 7, so I can't go too far into it. I mean, you played well enough to win. But you didn't do your job of winning by 22 points or even close to it. So I don't know how much props you want me to actually give to you. Nebraska didn't do what they needed to do at certain times, and so I'm mostly talking to Nebraska fans here. But Oklahoma, you played well enough to win, and we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. You're undefeated. Let's keep at it. Until next time on Tap Sports, we'll see you soon. Got Michigan State, Miami reaction coming out, Alabama, Florida, Auburn, Penn State, all the good stuff all the time, all the sports all the time here on Tap Sports. Have a great one.